Hi, my name is Meghna Bhutoria. I'm the founder of MakersLoft. I have a very special guest with us today, Kavin's mother. Kavin is a student who has been with us for some time now, and his journey has been nothing short of inspiring. And I want to share that with you. Karpagavali, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you please tell us about Kavin and what got you to explore MakersLoft programs?
Right. Thank you first of all for having us here to share this inspiring story of Kavin, the journey with Makers. Kavin is an 11-year-old boy who is under autism spectrum, and his love towards Lego and the passion towards Lego, that was the driving factor for me to find out a learning space, atmosphere for him to get in, and that's how I found out MakersLoft. Okay, as a neurodivergent parent, I really look forward whenever I'm deciding a place for Kavin. There are certain factors that I would consider before even we go over there, being he's a neurodivergent child as such. Mm-hmm. But the very first call that I had with you, that gave me a confidence, and yes, this is the place I'm looking for. We came in here, the first attractive point was the open environment which you had kept here. I've never seen anybody sitting behind the closed doors. It was very open, and there were tutors sitting across, and you were there, and anybody can talk to anybody. It was quite attractive for me to go, and you were allowing parents to come inside, and kids were, as soon as they finished building up the projects, I saw them coming out and showing it to the parents. So that all kind of like, okay, fine, yet another deciding factor. Yes, we are in the right platform. Because Kavin, being an autistic boy, he would not be comfortable in an enclosed space. So, and the moment he walked in, I could see like he has never been that comfortable walking in any new atmosphere, but he was here.
Oh, wow.
So that was really great, and it's been a year. We completed a year this month, and it's been an amazing journey.
So what has stood out for you? What have been the biggest wins?
First of all, after COVID, we have never been visiting any learning setup as such. So MakersLoft was the first one, like he was okay and completely happy to get ready and come in. He started looking forward for these classes. One, yes, his love for Lego. And then the learning environment here was quite open. And it was more of a customized syllabus or activities that the tutor has been framing for him. So it was from the right from the very first session that we had, out of all those 16 or 15 activities in a course, and the tutor allowed us to, I was also part of the session, so I should be thankful for that as well. We both sat together for almost 4 to 5 sessions, and then there was no need of me anymore, and Kavin was that comfortable, and there was beautifully, the bond was creating between the tutor and Kavin. So that was also again a quite impressive. And it happened in a very short time here. The trust that he developed with the tutor was simply amazing. So again, when we spoke about the activities, the tutor was trying to understand Kavin's interest rather than giving him or presenting him what he wanted to do. So it was more of, he has his love towards the train and anything which spins and the moving vehicles. So we started off from there, and that was the starting point of this one. And I remember like the first 7-8 sessions, it was completely of his interest within the framework or the syllabus that you had, and he really enjoyed doing that. We came in for the course of movable machines, and now after it's been a year, he is developing codes, what an equivalent of senior robotic engineer does here.
Right.
So this was again very surprising for me, the journey where it has taken us.
And Kavin is homeschooled, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he did initially go to school?
Yes, till 3.8 he was going to school, but then we had a really bad patch of the experiences that we had in the school, and where we had to pull off, and so ever since, we tried taking him to different learning atmospheres, but at a point of time, I decided there are a lot of other positive skills that we can, rather than spending an entire day in the school, we would simply focus on that and grow and nurture him to grow in that level.
And you've been his primary educator since?
Yes, if you would call him that term, yes. Yes,
and of course he does self-learning too.
Yes, yeah, he is definitely, he has that self-drive and the curiosity to know things in his own way, and it's more of facilitating him rather than teaching him. So as parent, yeah, we both have a role, and not only the parents, our extended families as well. They all have a role to play with him, like either it could be the technical growth or it's a social growth. So that is something which is there.
So for me, the social growth was the most, like, startling for him. I remember from the first day we came, you came in, and we had set up the office also to make sure other kids were not there, especially young kids are not there, because young kids are unpredictable, and to make sure we don't change his learning environment too much, because he didn't like that. And that was about a year ago. And now Kavin has participated in robotics competitions. He participated in showcase, and in both these events we had more than 30 plus children and adults. So for me and for all of us, that's just like wow. So can you tell a little bit more about his development on the social side?
Yes. See, after we started coming here, the biggest achievement or the celebrating moment is, yes, he is looking forward to those Saturdays where we meet up with his friends of similar age group. There's a group sessions which has happened on Saturdays. So we started off the class in an enclosed room with an individual tutor, and we all three are sitting inside a room, and we started off, and now he is out there with a number of kids over there, and especially the Saturday group sessions. Kavin has moved to a state where he could kind of interact with the other child and can get into a same project. So that was something nothing short of a miracle for me as well. Coming from the background of no socialization, or like if a kid is going to school, the socialization happen naturally. So apart from wherever we are going over there, in a learning atmosphere, achieving this socialization or that impact of being socialized was really, that's very inspiring here. And the great credit goes to everybody here, not only the tutor. I would definitely, it started off with Sagar sir, who was the primary tutor for him. But whenever he walks in, it was not only Sagar sir. So whoever was here, to name a few, Noori ma'am, Sahil sir, Ram sir, Deepa ma'am, Dikshika, the person who were previously working also, everyone was like, it was more like a friendly atmosphere for him. As soon as he comes in, initially there was a huge struggle to make him say hi to Sagar sir. But then now, if you look at him, the moment he comes in, he ensures he goes and say hi to everyone. Without saying hi, you won't even start the project. So that has happened so naturally. Nobody, without any compulsion, nobody even compelled him. And then the other, I would say, like they made him comfortable. The space that every tutor has given you, including you and whoever was here. So that is, I think that's the motivating factor for him, and to being more free over here.
I'm curious about, like, this is what we have seen over here, but how has this carried or shown, reflected in, like, otherwise what you see of him at home, and otherwise how does this kind of translate?
Yeah, so after completing 6-7 months over here, so I should again thank Sagar sir for bringing in the concept of learning from someone, which was not happening earlier. It was predominantly the closest family members or the parents as such. So he has a curiosity, but he wouldn't allow anybody to come that close inside his circle to teach him anything. And this journey along with Sagar sir has given him the confidence, as well as me as a mother, to, okay, yes, this is the time to kind of explore more. Let's give him more of exposure. That was the time he was falling in love with musical instruments, the keyboard and the guitar, and I was like, why not? Let's give a try. And I still remember, like, the very second meeting with the guitar tutor. he came and he told the sir like, okay, you should bring down your voice like Sagar sir. Okay, so don't raise your voice, bring down, you talk like Sagar sir, I'll be happy. So I was like so amazed. That's the beauty of a teacher, the impact that a teacher can make within a child, right? So that's very beautifully. It happened just naturally over there. So that has given us a confidence to explore. He learned guitar, he learned keyboard, and there are other learning atmospheres where I'm still taking him on not on a regular course, this one. But then I think MakersLoft is more like a motherly place for him, where he always wanted to come back, and if he would decide tomorrow to learn anything else also, probably he'll expect to learn from here. So this has become a mother place for him.
Very happy to hear that. And tell me, on the academic side, you had told me earlier that our pedagogy, the way we teach and the hands-on learning and the fact that we have material, it has helped in his learning as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Kavin, being an autistic person, his primary learning channels would be visual and auditory, if you look at it. And pedagogy is nothing but learning by doing, right? So you do something hands-on and you learn from. It's more like how babies learn through cause and effect methodology. So that's how Kavin's predominant learning way is that. He would want to see, and then yes, parallelly there should be an auditory input. And also there is something that as a neurodivergent parent we takes care of the sensory challenges as well. Our 5 senses typically, and among the 5 senses, these 3, Kavin really uses these 3 as the mode of his learning: the visual, auditory, and the tactile. And Legos will constantly feed the tactile input for him, as he gets to play along with the blocks, the pressure that he gets when he try to connect those blocks with each other.
Right.
So that was continuously feeding his sensory input, and that in turn made him calmer. Okay. Though he has a lot of sensory challenges where the time that we came in, but the learning way and the blocks itself was kind of feeding him or cater him that sensory inputs. So that was quite amazing. And yes, the activities that it's been created over here, that automatically by itself it covers the visual and the auditory part.
Right.
So I have seen not only for whatever the course that he was learning, right from a 4-year-old child who was coming here till a 12-year-old, everybody does things practically.
Right.
And what actually motivates Kavin is like he does something and he's looking at the result immediately.
Yeah.
And that will, again, that's a motivation factor for
That
Kavin.
feedback loop is very important. And there's also learning by association, because it's all practical learning. He learns examples that he can possibly relate to real life.
Yes. For example, the gear concept. Okay, so at home also we have like a number of Lego blocks and the structures and the models. He picks up whatever the parts that he needed, and then he connects it. And as I mentioned earlier, anything that spins is of his interest actually. So he makes this gear part without even knowing or properly knowing. Okay, and then he makes a lot of this pedestal fans models, the flight engine model kind of a thing, the fan which runs there, right? So the propeller fan. So he keeps making these models. And after coming over here, he gets to know the technical name, the proper name, and what's the function of it, where do we use it. So from the very first class, again thanks to the tutor and allowing him to kind of take the time to associate and bring in those examples, and wherever he got stuck and the tutors helped him to relate through. So that also happened. So after he knows the technical terms, now that if we go on a flight or if we like go out and try to explore a typical fan or and even for that matter even vacuum cleaner or the washing machine, being a child who's obsessed about electronics as well. So now that he knows what are the boards exactly which is going there, why they have that gear mechanism, starting from a simple gear till a compound gear mechanism, he can talk now. Okay, so he's in a state to explain me actually, as well as the like whoever is getting to talk to him, he is in a position to explain to them. how it works. So that's a tremendous growth.
That's fantastic. It makes us so happy. And ever since we've been working with Kavin, we've been thinking, could we work with more children? In fact, we are in Bangalore and Calcutta, but we do offer our courses in other cities as well. We do online classes. We can ship kits, and children can take these classes in the comfort of their home. Do you think, Karpagavali, other autistic kids could benefit, and what is it that we bring to the table more specifically that they could benefit even if they were doing an online class with us?
Yes, I can say why this methodology or whatever culture that you have here. I would like to use the word culture. It's not a system here, it's a culture. Anybody, there is a way of life inside MakersLoft. Anybody who comes in and who is thriving for that culture to nurture and to grow and to learn will definitely fit in over here. And I'm 200% sure every neurodivergent kid, this is what the parents are thriving for. Okay, the very first thing, as I have already mentioned, it's an open atmosphere, and there is a customized the frame structure that we can work. And the other very important thing is whenever it's taking the child lead, not the teacher's lead or what you have framed.
Right.
It's taking the child lead and then working on that. And that has actually worked very beautifully with Kavin. If I have to be very specific, the time that we were doing guitar class, I remember that we were finishing the guitar class and straight away coming into MakersLoft, and Sagar sir had some other activity, but he said no, I want to make a guitar model. Okay, fine. He never said no. There was not even an expression of no on his face. He said okay, done. So what exactly you would want to make? So he was very clear on what he wanted to make. So it was so amazing to see Sagar sir. He allowed him to make what he wants, but achieved what was the task for the day.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so that technical wise, he has achieved, he was able to figure out how he can get his task done by again catering to Kavin's interest.
Yeah.
So they made it, the activity they did was so beautiful. He took people, whoever has known Lego Mindstorms or the EV3, this one, there's a big board called Evastorm. And for Kavin, it's his imaginary girlfriend. Okay, so he took the Evastorm from the showcase over there, and he made another Lego with a guitar. So for him, he considered that to be himself playing guitar. So he made a code for these two, to connect these two bots.
Wow!
And then it was okay, Evastorm takes some n number of steps, and then the nth number, the guitar will start playing.
Oh.
So they even decided on a music to feed in the code, and it was playing. And then after some nth number of steps, they both start dancing. So it was so beautiful. So it's that's what we want, right? So catering to the child's interest, and that I think after the session that we went home, I remember still he was calling everybody in the family and saying, okay, I did this, I could made a guitar Lego today, and I made Evastorm to dance. So that the being pride, the proud factor, right? Yes, this atmosphere has given to him that.
Yeah.
So that was something very magical.
And one instance I remember, once you had recorded a video of him doing something, and you'd possibly shared it with your father. And
Yes,
you
yes.
told me about it. Do you remember that?
Yes, of course. Yes, thank you for bringing this up again. Because he is not going to school, though the family has been very supportive in all the other aspects, they had their own doubts, what's the atmosphere that he's going to be getting, or what's the future of him, where it's going to be going there. And when I shared this, my dad was immediately he sent a voice message oh, my biggest worry is relieved now.
Wow.
And I'm so confident that he's going to be growing further. Definitely it's not a way back going. He's definitely going to be good. And hearing that from my father was it was, it cannot happen any other way. Just the work shows.
So I guess what it has helped Kavin, and then of course it's helped you as well. the concern from the family also
Yes.
probably is something that you have to deal with.
Yeah. And it's yet another reassurance as a mother, okay, we are heading in the right path.
In the right path.
Let's give more time to that. And answering your question, how it's gonna cater the neurodivergent, this one, I would like to insist on something we as neurodivergent parents believe. Always presume competence. Never think a child cannot do anything. Okay, give that value and the respect that the child can be intelligent if proper resources can be given to him.
In fact, you spoke about dignity.
Of course, yes. So, and presuming competence, it just happens naturally, not only with neurodivergent kids, for every kid who's walking in here. And I'm sure you have the same culture over other MakersLoft branches or as well. The tutors are so amazing. Why but did I mention dignity is, see again, wherever we go as neurodivergent child and the parent, we tend to advocate for ourselves. It's not like wherever we go, the world already knows about autism or they have a dictionary to how to handle a neurodivergent child.
Right.
No, it was a challenge. I'm talking
So
about
we learned from you as
yes.
well. Yeah.
We have been talking about the brighter side, but there is another parallel side of how we, myself and Sagar sir was constantly talking, discussing with each other what, for example, there were n number of meltdowns and tantrums happened here. Right in the class, something would have been disturbing him. Any other kid crying, or just for the fact that the window was being open and there is a bird standing outside and it's bothering me. I'm not able to do this. But then the teachers kind of valued him. They didn't ignore his request, just saying, okay, he's a child and let's focus on the class. No, they did not ignore. They kind of valued, they respected his sensory challenges. Okay, I've seen Sagar sir a number of times, got up, close the windows. Okay, now is that all okay? Or should we change the place? This place is better for you. Can we work here? That has happened naturally. That is his genuine interest of Sagar sir in Kavin's growth. That's the way that he nurtured him. Yeah. So that's happened without me demanding. I've been quite to other places as well where I had to request them. Go that extra mile. For every step I had to go there and explain to them and request them, and few will take it. Very few, I would say, very very few percentage will take that in the right sense, and the other says like, no, we cannot change things for him.
Yeah.
So why would I mention dignity is, it started off like this, but still it's not like okay, when we talk about accommodation or facilitation that we demand as neurodivergent parents for our children, accommodation is not like, okay, doing everything for the child. Just creating the environment and giving them the proper tool to cope themselves as well. Okay, so I have seen the journey of Sagar and Kavin as a magical path. Okay, so it happened both the ways. Okay, Sagar sir has traveled to an extent to meet where Kavin is, and I have seen the Kavin, I'm sure, like though he's not expressive in his language or communication wise, that he couldn't express what he feels. He talks, he's talkative by this time, all of the people here knows, but he couldn't express that. So he realized at some point that Sagar sir is taking that extra step to keep him comfortable.
Oh, okay.
I'm very very sure of that.
Oh, okay.
And there was a point where he started doing things for him.
Oh, okay.
This is what we expect. This is what is a healthy inclusion. And that happened naturally. And for this to understand or to travel to that extent, all of our conversations helped. Whenever he gets stuck, whenever I get stuck, when we both feel Kavin is stuck, we get into a talk. It's
and
not like we call for meeting.
Other team members, Noori
Yes.
ma'am, and have also
Yes.
come in and stepped up.
Yes.
And I know she'd say, let's remove the streamers, aaj Kevin ki class.
Definitely.
So.
And I would say, like, the very first time that we came in, there was some birthday celebration happening, and they were full of decorations and things like that.
Yeah.
And he just stood out. He doesn't want to come in, but I requested Noori ma'am to come out and talk to him, and I think that was the last time. He's petrified of balloons, okay, for this year, I've never seen any of your team members using balloons thereafter.
Yeah.
Even if she's going to use, she ensures she calls me. Okay, is tomorrow Kavin's class is there, right? So I have a celebration over here. Let me know what time you're coming in. Then I will fix the balloons later.
Yeah.
We don't want to disturb. Who'll take that extra step? It's not that you have to do it, right?
Right.
But then that personal care, they treat him not only as a student, but everybody has given that.
Yeah.
So the advocacy has made easy for us. It was challenging initially. I also had my own doubts. Till which step I can talk?
Yeah.
What is the thing that I can, because you're granting me everything, I shouldn't be doing, expecting more also. So till which step we can do? So you made us to do the advocacy and the inclusion with dignity. Never once either me or Kavin have felt, okay, we are in the wrong place or there's no value given for us. I could walk in any time. Whenever I hear Kavin scream a bit or no, he's not okay, I could walk in any time. He can walk out any time. So thanks to everybody. So everyone has a role to play. And the way a number of times, again, like he was not comfortable talking to Sagar sir or me, wherein Noori ma'am and Dipshita ma'am is the other person that he loves. They both jumped into, okay, fine. You can stay out. No, let's try talk it out. And it has happened. He has expressed so many his kind of feelings to Noori ma'am.
Yeah.
So it's a teamwork. And they say it takes a village to raise a child, right? We need the entire world to raise an autistic child. But it happened so beautifully with this closed team.
Well, that's. I hope this was, it was useful for you viewers. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, and this is another notion that the world has. Like whenever they would like to include our children, they would think like, okay, they need a proper big setup, or they need to invest in resources. We need a special educator. We need a therapist, all under one room. No, your team and this place is yet another example for that. Yeah. All you need is the people who can genuinely be interested in a child's growth.
Yeah.
And when you think of inclusion, it's like, okay, when you want to cater any neurodivergent child, it is as equivalent for any normal child learning's way.
Yeah, that's what I feel, that a lot of the things that you mentioned, like we did for Kavin, we do it for any child. Our the same approach, treat the way we treat kids, etc. And the fact that it has lent itself so beautifully for neurodivergent kids just make us more happier. But this is just what we do, and this is how we are.
That's why your culture is already that. So there's nothing that you could change or do on another level to bring in the kids. You're already set to give that
we
platform.
do try to still treat them like equally and not as different, so we maintain. I think that also goes into dignity, where you kind of treat everybody equally.
That is very important. We don't want people to sympathize or empathize with us. Rather, share the space and give us opportunity to grow. That's it. And again, Kavin is an example that you have seen him flourish in the ways that we couldn't imagine. I've never imagined that he would sit and write a coding of like 100 lines or an 80 lines. I've never done that, and he has never been exposed to any type of coding before that we come here. And because you asked this, I would like to mention this also. We came in for movable missions course. Learning EV3 was not even in the corner of our mind. He got inspired by the girl which was doing a Rubik's Cube solver by herself, and we happened to be there that particular day where she cracked. And the entire atmosphere was jumping and celebrating her, and that was the moment I think Kavin decided to pursue that. And after the movable missions beginners level assessment that I still remember, after finishing that assessment, he himself initiates, and he was asking Sagar sir, can we learn EV3? Can we learn EVSTOM? So like, no, let's finish. No, I don't want to do this. Let's learn this. And we both were kind of amazed and confused, and was not sure of whether he would be able to do it, capable enough, knowledge will be okay, or the prerequisites that he would want. This is again another example of presuming competence.
Yeah.
Sagar sir, he gave a kind of 2-3 tasks that just to know where he stands in that, and he could crack everything within the time that we have been giving to him. So that was like Sagar just decided, okay, done, let's go. What's harm in giving a try?
We
Let's
discussed that, I remember clearly in the
Yes.
team, because he was not quite yet ready. He didn't
Yes.
know the coding part, but we were like, if the child is so interested, he's so passionate, he'll figure it out. So we do take the lead of the child in kind of deciding what and how they're going to learn.
So it's been an amazing atmosphere, and this journey it's very special, very close to our heart, which has given us a lot more. It has kind of widened our horizons to explore more things and to put your hands on new things that we can, and even more. We believe in Kavin definitely more, but this has given us a different level of confidence to believe in him more. Okay, give him that opportunity. Now he's interested in learning animation or to make movies.
Oh, wow.
Who knows that he might be doing it, or we were earlier. No, it's like, okay, fine. Now let's find the right place to this one.
You feel more encouraged to
take that extra step and go on. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back and says, Sagar sir, teach me animation as well. So much so the love that he has on him.
We can certainly do that with scratch coding. Karpagavali, thank you so much for sharing your story. It was really heartening to know, and I'm so happy, and I feel proud of being able to achieve this kind of success with Kavin. For our viewers, this is everything I think that Karpagavali mentioned is something we do for all kids. So I'm really happy you were able to bring it out. We do have physical centers in Calcutta and Bangalore, and we also do online classes for children, not just in India but anywhere in the world. So if you're interested, do reach out to us at www.makersloft.in. That's the website. You can give us a call or send us an email. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Meghna ma'am, for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much.